Hi, welcome to Youth Scotland's Vinegar Rocket STEM video. To make a vinegar rocket, you're going to need vinegar, baking soda, a plastic bottle, a stopper or a cork, some cardboard or other materials to create your own unique rocket design, and you're also going to need a funnel. But before we get started, we need to think about safety. You'll be making a rocket which is going to go into orbit. Check with an adult before you send your rocket into orbit, as you might need a little help from them to keep safe. Also, make sure you have a safe open space to let your rocket blast off from. This might be your garden, or in a local green space like a park. First up, you'll need to create a design for your rocket. I've sketched mine on my cardboard, so I know what bits I'll need to cut out and stick onto my bottle to create my rocket. Once you have a design for your rocket, it's time to create the parts ready to build it. I've gone with a 4-fin design for my rocket, so I've cut one out and used it as a stencil to make the other 3 as similarly shaped as possible. You can be as creative as you like, even colouring your rocket fins and creating a nose cone if you like. Do any colouring or decorating your rocket now before we move on to the next step of assembling it. The next step is to build a rocket by sticking on all of our parts. For me, that means sticking my fins onto the body of my rocket. However, you may also be adding a nose cone or some other creative parts. To stick my fins on, I've just used sellotape. As you can see, this can be a little tricky and requires some patience. Once you've stuck all the parts onto your rocket should stand up with the bottle opening pointing to the ground. At this stage, we also need to ensure we have our stopper or cork ready, which will fit snugly into the opening in the bottle. I've used a cork and wrapped some tape around it to make sure it is nice and tight in the bottle opening. This is a super important part of our rocket. Before taking your rocket to the launch pad, you can add the vinegar to the bottle at this stage. Therefore, you'll only need to take your baking soda and funnel out to your launch pad, ready for launch. We have only added around 200 ml of vinegar to our bottle to create our rocket. Now it's time to take your rocket to the launch pad. For me, this was my back garden, but remember to do this in a nice big open space as you don't know how high or far your rocket might fly. We need to take the cork from our bottle and using a funnel, add our baking soda nice and quickly. We added around 50 grams. Then get the stopper back in very fast, turn your rocket round into takeoff mode and move away to a safe distance and watch that rocket head into orbit. In this activity, we have used a chemical reaction to power our rocket. A real space rocket uses a chemical reaction called combustion to power its liftoff. In our rocket, we've used an acid-base reaction between vinegar, which is acetic acid, and baking soda, which is a base. When our 2 chemicals react, they produce carbon dioxide gas. The pressure of this gas builds up in our rocket until it forces our stopper out and thrusts our rocket high up into the sky.